People, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Because I don't know what else we have to talk about right here. Got a lot of people want to see the show. Let me see.
I was really excited to talk about how to be single.
What's
Can't
that?
you tell?
I said I was so excited to talk about how to be single.
Well, I heard you not
sat
laughing.
there all through the credits.
Yeah, I was geeking
waiting
out.
for a sting at the end and shit.
Judd Patel shows up.
Yeah. Waiting for Rebel Wilson to come out. Now she's in the Avengers and shit. So
Would you be surprised?
I would not.
Exactly.
So hey, you know what? Like I said, I'm not gonna try to waste y'all's time tonight.
Too late.
I'm not gonna tease you. Shut up, Martin. No, be nice, Martin. Be nice to me. I'm trying to be nice to you, Martin. Be nice to me. See, I'm turn around and cuss your ass out because you pushed me, brother.
He's 50% sure he's going to curse you
Yeah,
out.
I'm 52.3% sure.
Unlike the rest of the staff, if you cuss me out, I don't care.
Yeah, I know. You're used to it now. Yeah.
Like, you done?
Yeah, there was a time, believe it or not, he actually used to give a shit. Not anymore. Not anymore. Deadpool. Man, a lot of people out there talking about Deadpool. Good old Deadpool. Can't wait for that Deadpool. What the fuck is that? A lot of people don't know what Deadpool is. Well, before we get into this review, I got you. I got you covered. Let me give you a little history right here. So, Deadpool, and Martin, you correct me because you're one of them funny book guys out there. I don't know who Deadpool is at
Deadpool's
all.
one of those characters that I was never all that keen on, so it's kind of a blind spot for me.
He's in everything.
And he's in. Okay, Martin, you know what? Be my chance to actually. The pupil has turned into the master, Martin.
Perhaps.
I'm the master nerd now. Let me show you a thing or two. So, Deadpool premiered in the early 90s in the issue of the New Mutants.
During the dark ages of comic books.
Number 98, Martin. You got that issue right there? Of course you don't. You don't know Deadpool. And that is when Deadpool was first introduced as it's pretty much a super villain. Just straight up asshole. Ain't nothing funny about him. One in there cracking jokes or anything. No, I'm just here to fuck with people and kick ass and take over the world if I can and get paid while I'm doing it. Maybe get a bitch or two. Somehow, over time, he evolved and he became almost a comedian. Some people describe him as a murderous, psychotic Bugs Bunny.
Right.
Who gets on the nerves, it just pisses off, just fucking makes everybody angry, whether you are a hero or a villain. He's a pain in the ass for everyone. No one really likes him. You know,
He's an equal opportunity asshole.
yeah, exactly. He has the power to regenerate. And that came from an experiment they called Experiment X or something.
Weapon
X, where gave him the power to regenerate, made him almost invincible, also made him ugly as shit.
It's the same thing they did to Wolverine.
Wolverine, except Wolverine remained handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolverine already had his power.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Deadpool, who goes by his real name is Wade Wilson, he ended up looking like a turd with eyes. So fucked up. But you know what? It made him crazy. And at this point, he's like, hey, what have I got to lose? Also known for going out there, and you'll hear this often with him, breaking the fourth wall. Almost every comic book he's in, he connects with the reader because he directly addresses the reader. Sometimes right on the cover, right there. He's talking about, hey, if you're buying this book, can you call me a cab? That Deadpool.
Wow.
Deadpool at the Apollo.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You'll be here all week, unfortunately. He became a beloved character. He knows he's a comic book character. People love that. So people were baffled when they saw Wolverine Origins and they fucked him up.
Oh, yeah. Because his nickname is the Merc with the mouth because he won't shut up. And then the first time they put him on screen, they give him no mouth at all.
I mean, they put like that postage tape over his mouth right there. You see that?
I mean, it was hilarious in as much as they cast Ryan Reynolds, who is a very funny guy.
And people were saying he's perfect.
He's perfect. He's perfect. And they found a way to make it so the opposite of perfect.
It's the Merc with a mouth, and they made it to where he couldn't say shit. Ryan Reynolds, he was upset about this. Nothing he could do because he signed up for it. He signed up for it like, I finally get to be Deadpool. Good. You got a contract. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's almost like what ends up happening to him in the new movie where he signs up for an experiment and finds out it's not what he thought it was.
Oh, no. That was probably the biggest fuck up y'all ever done. And 20th Century Fox said, well, you see, the problem is that this is a PG-13 world that we living in right now. That Deadpool, that's some rated R shit, and we can't let him come up and mess that up. All right, we got you. You need a proof of concept. is what you need. Ryan Reynolds said, well, shit, I need a hit too. I need some money.
They've given me way more chances than they've given anybody else.
Ryan Reynolds had one more chance before they were going to boot his ass out of Hollywood, pull that trapdoor lever. So he got together, lent his talent, probably even some of his money. And y'all remember, it was a year and a half ago when that test reel dropped, the animated test reel where Ryan Reynolds' voice played as Deadpool.
Oh, hello there. I bet you're wondering why the red suit. Well, that's so bad guys can't see me bleed. Hey! Let's hope these guys are wearing their brown pants.
Surprise, motherfuckers! And it was a surprise. People saw this. And this was not released with 20th Century Fox. It was released by some. And Ryan Reynolds even came out and said, "Yeah, I might have done that.
You don't say.
My finger might have slipped and pressed send on YouTube. I don't know." But the fans went crazy, and the nerds said, "We're gonna pull a jihad on fucking 20th Century Fox if y'all don't make this shit." So throughout this movie, Ryan Reynolds is having the time of his life. When he ain't wearing that mask, he is smiling so big. And it's not a smile of like, oh man, this is awesome. He's like, thank God. Because he knows this good. He's like, man, I had one more chance to fuck up. And that was it. And instead of being a comic book character that he's aware that he's a comic book character, you have Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, a.k.a. Wade Wilson, who realizes that he's a comic book character in a comic book movie. The story's kind of the same. Gets mutated, regenerates, talks a lot of shit. But here, he's more of an anti-hero, not a superhero, and he only cares about one thing, not saving the world, not trying to help the average citizen. He's like, man, I got to get my girl back.
Oh, I also got to get revenge on the son of a bitch who did this to me.
Oh, yeah. And the dude that fucked my face up. I got to find him, have him turn me back, and then kill him.
Right.
I mean, he's going to die, you know. That's a given. This right here, man, I'm going to tell you something. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of hype. They're really pumping up that R rating because they said that this is not an R, this is a hard R.
Oh.
That R that you find at the end of the N word. Right. It's a hard. I was
gonna say that.
Yeah, it's that hard. I've already heard some people saying, "Oh, this is childish. It's too violent. It's just playing up to what teenage boys want to see: the sex, the nudity, the all the curse words and the potty mouth and all the blood and violence." If that's what you're reading into this, you don't fucking get the point. You haven't looked past anything at all. You haven't even attempted to rub past the surface. Because if you look at this, this is one of the best satires of not comic books, but of blockbusters. This makes a big statement about blockbusters, the superhero genre that's out there. For all of you guys who are out there saying that this is just another superhero movie where they just threw in more blood and tits, you are so full of shit.
It could have been that.
It could have been that.
It could have easily have been that and would have satisfied those hardcore Deadpool fans. Like I said, I wasn't that big of a fan. I'd seen him in some stuff. I liked him in Thunderbolts because he was in love with Elektra, but she was fucking the Punisher. It was kind of cool.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But you are aware of those characters
Kinda.
because you've seen those movies.
Sure.
But but I thought, like, okay, here's what I would like to see in a Deadpool movie, or at best. And I would say they went like, we could do much better than that. And this is packed with so much stuff I wasn't prepared for.
Deadpool might as well be a comedian on stage at a roast with nothing but superheroes in the audience, right? Talking shit to all of them. Look at this motherfucker, claws and shit. You know? It skewers the genre at a time where it's needed. When we have superhero movies, even though they're successful, when the creativity is starting to lag, this movie is a warning sign. It's to boost your shit up.
Well, it's also like right when the genre looked like, all right, even though they're good, we're getting the same thing over and over. It's like, man, it's got to grow. It's got to do something different or people are going to get sick of it. And here's that thing that's different.
This is the biggest shakeup that you can see. I mean, this movie is touching on things that I've been talking about for years now. Years. Deadpool knows what I'm saying. No, fuck that. No, don't tell me to calm down. I've been talking about this for years, and it took Deadpool, a $30 million low-budget fucking anti-hero, come in here and do the shit. One of the things I hate the most in superhero movies is that old anime superhero Tim Tebow and landing that they make where they land on one knee.
The hero landing?
The hero landing. They land with their head down and they look up like this. I mean, that's fucking lame. I've said it for years. I give Deadpool points for coming in and calling bullshit on that.
She gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it. Woo! Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Totally impractical. They all do it.
You're a lovely lady, but I'm saving myself for Francis. That's why I brought him.
I prefer not to hit a woman, so please play.
God damn, when I saw him, I was like, y'all could let that brother get one punch in. I'm telling y'all how self-aware this film is. It's 2 minutes in, the credits. And the credits are telling you that they know how to come in here and tell you that blockbusters and superhero movies are bullshit. Damn, huh? You gonna you chopping into them fucking fries, man? Shit. I mean, I tried to sit. Maybe I got superhero hearing or something. Cause I tried. You know how I tried to ignore that shit. I'm just
Let's postpone a review and let
Hi,
fries.
you can finish though.
I know, but let me tell you how take the fucking fries out the bag, man. I love when people
everything.
Take everything. Fuck, I can wait. I'll sit up here and wait, brother. For fucking Wendy's too. I'm like Deadpool in this fucking thing. Yeah, go ahead, take your time, man. Hashtag it.
Well, he's got to go back and throw an alligator through the window.
Throw alligator at him. I said no cheese, bitch. Ah! With the opening credits, to let you know how self-aware they are. They're talking about the director of the movie. They don't give you a name. They're talking about directed by some asshat.
Right. Forgot about the opening credits.
Produced by some fuckers. You're like, damn.
Produced by some fucker. Yeah, Deadpool don't give a fuck. Yeah, made by the studio that just wants to make money. Fuck them. You know, it's... and you think the heroes are the villains even, are shallow in this? They even tell you that in the credits. Starring a British dude.
A British dude.
As the villain.
A British villain, yeah.
A British villain. A British dude. The movie really doesn't give a fuck on the outside, but really is one of the smartest satires that you will see, not of superhero movies, but of the business. I don't like how you sitting over there quiet, brother. You know, you like to be contrary sometimes.
Yeah, you do. What's up?
Am I going to get jumped if I don't agree with y'all?
Let's see.
So I think they did a good job of, yes, they brought some new lifeblood back into it, and I think they did a great job of, using that hard R again, which is something you're going to hear a lot when you explain Deadpool. But
see,
but I do think another positive thing. I apologize, I messed that up a little bit. But I think they did a good job of calling like, oh, you need to look at this, and they do this too much in movies.
Even
However,
Deadpool's like tread carefully,
and this
brother.
is why, no, because I'm quoting you. This is something that you said you hate seeing in superhero movies because it happens all the time. Where is the last fight scene always taking place?
Up in something high, and something that always blows up. And
okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they're trying to say we're bringing something new to the table, but they're still keeping their foot in the old thing. I think if they would have went full, balls to the wall crazy, I'd be like, all right, cool, that's great.
you just sound wrong.
Okay, that's how you feel. They did a really good job, but I don't feel like they brought a whole new take to the superhero genre like you two feel. Like, I feel that they did bring something new, but it's not a whole new take. It's not something that's gonna revitalize or re-energize the superhero genre, because at the end of the day, it's still a superhero movie that treads on a lot of the same tactics that other superhero movies do.
I don't think of it as it's gonna revitalize the whole.
I'm talking
genre.
about him.
no, you want to know what
Yeah.
I think that was a point I was going to save later. The movie does cheat a little bit. The movie's not perfect, first of all. And the reason why I'm letting it slide on certain levels like this is because, as I said, it's very self-aware of what it does. Not only is it a superhero genre, not only is it a blockbuster, Ryan Reynolds is having so much fun of this, just making fun of himself.
Right.
Green Lantern, yeah, I did it. I fucked up. He makes fun of that.
They make fun of Green Lantern and Wolverine Origins so much. It's like, man, those are two of the worst superhero movies. But now this movie makes it worth it that those came out.
Yeah, and and they go through and they make. Evie says, "Yeah, I was a handsome dude at one time." There's a car chase in here, and it's in slow motion. You see a copy of People magazine going by, America's sexiest man. He's like, it's almost like Ryan Reynolds said, "Yeah, that got me somewhere, didn't it?" Because right after that came out, you saw shit just went downhill. He's able to like be humble and make fun of himself. But you're right. Let's talk. You want to talk about some negative things? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you some negative things. They talk about he's the merc with the mouth, the smart ass of the Marvel Universe, the guy that won't shut the fuck up, and he really won't shut the fuck up. If there was nothing but Deadpool, if they didn't break it up and it was just a linear film, I would lose my fucking mind, man. Mm-hmm. But fortunately, they break up the movie. His love interest in this movie, Morena Baccarin, what's her name? Baccarin?
Yeah.
Who plays Vanessa, his girlfriend. So they're able to add a little bit of romance, a little bit of drama in there, especially when there's tension with him having cancer, which is the catalyst of him going and getting this experiment. And even though he's the smartest in those parts, we do get to see Wade Wilson be a human being besides just being a smartass, and it does break up that whole thing where he's just talking a mile a minute.
We're like two jigsaw pieces, the weird curvy edges.
But you fit them together and you see the picture on top.
Right.
Wade, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. Only because you haven't gotten around to asking me. Will you, stick it...
Marry me?
Jinx?
Huh.
Why are you hiding that?
Nowhere.
And why does the lollipop smell like shit? There's in the clip, they digitized his ass crack out, but it's insinuating that he pulled this candy lollipop that he's going to propose with her out of his ass. So that's the kind of character that it is. And I like that they actually do this with this romance where they make it kind of sweet. They actually make it feel genuine, but they still stay true to those characters. In fact, I think his girlfriend is a prostitute in the movie.
Yeah.
And a stripper. It's like, God damn, you just covered all slutty bases.
She was a waitress at a strip club.
She was a waitress at a strip club,
yeah,
who hit the pole and sucked dick too. She's like, hey.
What movie did you see?
It was insinuated, man.
Okay.
She's working her way up the corporate ladder at that strip club. The people who are really going to be, who are going to get the maximum enjoyment out of this are the people who know this character. And they're the ones who are going to see that this character, for some, I'm not going to say everybody, but for many, I will go on a limb and say many, they're going to see their character have a faithful adaptation of what they've read.
I don't know. Some of them are going to be like, well, they didn't call it Weapon X experiment.
Yeah, except for that one fucking nerd, that one little nerd. Well, his katana is different. The handle of the katana is different in the comic books.
There's small things.
That motherfucker.
There's small things that didn't include that they're not people. If you are a major Deadpool fan, you're not gonna freak the fuck out about it. He doesn't have this. He'll get it later. Don't worry about that. They're building up to it.
If you were that little fucking asshole, beat that motherfucker up, man. Find the biggest bully you can find. Find the biggest locker you can lock this motherfucker in, and leave him there for a fucking week and let him think about what he just said. Because this is one of the closest things that you will get to this character. I've heard people say it. What you laughing about over there?
Danielle brought her crew again.
Is that? Oh, is this Dan?
Yeah, her crew is expanding.
God damn, are you just growing chicks in a lab? Fuck, Danielle.
She's got a hot chick tree in her backyard.
It is like vagina just growing exponentially in here, man. It's like
wait, you don't want to rephrase that?
No, I do not. No, I do not. I want to say
make it sound like vaginas are just getting wider.
Well, that's all I see sometimes. It's almost like Gremlins. Like if you get Danielle wet, like you get more girls out of her.
Phrasing, yeah.
I meant it just exactly like I said. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you. You caught us on the fucking nerdiest night that we could have.
Yeah.
Instead of been talking about comic books.
I know, like they walked in, I was like, all right, I gotta be cool, but I can't be cool talking about this
I know.
shit. Fuck.
The thing is, I love how these guys, they were nerding the fuck out until y'all got in here. They were like, oh man, Deadpool, that's the fucking most awesome movie. And yes, as a critic, I must say that the mise-en-scene of the
adaptation of literary characters.
It's graphic novels.
Yeah.
I find this to be one of the more faithful.
Indubitably.
All of a sudden, you reviewing Shakespeare and shit. Because we got broads in here. Come on, man. I tell you, Deadpool wouldn't give a fuck.
I'm touching myself tonight.
I do agree with you that the movie does cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the characters that you have in here, and who was it? Is it Ed Skrein?
Is it Ajax?
Ajax.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this dude here, is probably, out of all the shit this movie talks about, how we're different from all superhero movies, how we're coming in here, we're making great observations, we're changing the game. He's got to be the most boring villain that they've ever come up with. I don't care if it's supposed to make a point or not. You don't get to cheat with that. You know what I mean?
Would you say he's the most boring Marvel villain that they've had? It just all over Marvel.
It's
including
close.
the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's close, man.
He's basically the guy that Captain America beat up in the Winter Soldier in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
I didn't see that. I don't do that nerd shit. That climax is just every other climax. It hits every beat that every climax of every Marvel movie, almost every superhero movie. And there's just nothing you can do to go around that, except that I will say, I'll give them some extra credit because they do actually bring out some good jokes here and there in the middle of the fight.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And those big battles don't have that. That's why you get so tired of them all the time.
Yeah, but then when I find something to complain about, I always go back to the stuff they get right. Because I like how we're talking about they got Deadpool right. Oh shit, they made it's so faithful. That character's so cool. And Colossus is like, wait a minute, what? They fucked me up too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twice.
They messed me up twice. At one time, I mean, for all the X-Men movies with the budget that they had, this movie probably cost less than the cheapest X-Men movie that's out there.
Right.
And in this version, Colossus looks better than any version that they had. In the past versions, Colossus looked like a cross between the T-1000 and a boy band. It don't make, it looks like shit.
Yeah, it's like he was an afterthought. Just like, look, use the CG and make him look chrome, and the nerds will freak out just because they'll be so happy that they got Colossus at all.
Yeah, the CG might be a little rusty. Yeah, it might be obvious that this is a special effect. I didn't mean, shut up, I ain't you.
Yeah, clearly, because I would never gone there.
But I'll be here all week later. Now, that's sometimes it doesn't matter how the character looks. Sometimes it's just a matter of how you actually make that character, how appealing you make that character, how fun you make that character. Yeah. And the personality of this character is better than they've ever done.
But the way they doubled down on him being Russian, that's what makes this character.
Oh, yeah.
All the personality that went with him and all the funny stuff he said, how he played off being a straight man.
Yeah, and the character is voiced by a dude named Stefan Capicci or something. I don't know who the guy is, but great job at voicing his character. And I tell you, there's other things that they do with people in here. It's not perfect. T.J. Miller, not a perfect guy, plays Weasel, owns a bar, the confidant of Deadpool. Pretty much your average sidekick, pretty much your average T.J. Miller. He does what T.J. Miller does.
And completely unfuckable.
You look like the inside of other people's assholes.
I will say that those are ad-lib lines right there. And those two together, you could tell that they're ad-libbing Ryan Reynolds and T.J. Miller. And it works.
Well, they got the same kind of sense of humor. Like I say, if Ryan Reynolds wasn't doing this and T.J. Miller decided to work out, he could have been Deadpool. But usually T.J. Miller is a lot more in your face. I like how he was subdued here.
No, that's what I said. I liked him, but he's still, they hired him to be who he is. And that's exactly who he was in the movie. But I tell you this much,
okay.
So I don't.
How dare they follow the source material?
It's almost like you come and you go like, well, I got to say something negative. Even if I got to make it up.
You're grasping at straws,
man. I do, man.
There's
girls in the room.
No, they're not. Will chase them away.
Well, damn, Will, what'd you do, man? right when Will walked in, they were gone.
They said, "Nah, we good."
Will is like, if I ain't getting it, nobody's getting it.
In fact, Will said, "Get the fuck out of here." I think the guy's name is Timothy Miller, who's the director, and couldn't have picked the perfect guy for this. For one, the guy cares about the property, and for another, this guy comes from a background animation. You talk about how Deadpool is a cartoon character, how he's Bugs Bunny. This guy, you can see one of his films on online right now. This is called Aunt Louisa, and it's this movie almost needed somebody who came from an animation background to do this.
I think they did a great job of translating it from the comic book to the big screen. I'm glad that they did make this movie rated R. I think the relationship between Deadpool and his girlfriend worked out really well. I thought when we talked about the trailer, I said, wow, that seems like it's going to be the worst part of the movie. And the way that they did film it with the way they broke it up and have action and then show his backstory and things. So from there, I think they did that great. However, there still are parts, like I said earlier, where he's fighting, that same villain that nobody really cares about, and you're not going to remember like 3 months down the line. And they kind of follow that same mold for a superhero movie. And with that, I was actually bouncing between a Better Than Sex and a full price. But I'm just going to go ahead and give it a full price.
I disagree in as much as, while yes, it's not a memorable villain. I don't even remember the guy's name or anything. But at the same time, Deadpool is so much. Everything in the movie is so much. The jokes are so much. I feel like having a villain that was equal might have been just enough to tip the scales. Where you're like, all right, I'm up to here. I can't take no more. I got too many things to focus on. I thought it struck a really good balance. The thing about this movie is that its real evolution, I think, started with Kick-Ass. And then came to Kingsman.
Yeah.
Because I think without Kingsman, we might not have got this. But it showed it like, look, February, you make a rated R movie based on a comic book, and people will go see it now. It will make it a #1 movie.
Yeah.
So it's it's already been like the pump has been primed for this by those movies. Kudos to Ryan Reynolds, not just for getting this, pulling this off, all the work he had to do, and being so funny and perfect as Deadpool, but just as Wade Wilson. This movie really gives you a chance to see his acting range, because his origin, while it could have been a joke, like sort of like a dark man, I really felt for him in it. It was like, it was really torturous and hard to watch. And it's like, damn, you've made this such a sympathetic thing he's going through, even though it's so, out of this world. My biggest thing with the movie is that it's just so entertaining. It's one of those movies that's so packed with jokes that it's impossible for you to catch them all the first time you see it. Either because somebody's laughing and you missed something, or you were still laughing at the last joke and you missed the one that came up in between. You almost got to watch it twice. And the handling of those 2 X-Men, even commenting on the fact that there's only 2 X-Men because of the budget. A lot of things you guys go like, well, they did this. I don't know, like having the big fight at the end on that, carrier or whatever, wasn't really in the sky so much. I guess I expect these, and they made enough jokes through it that it felt like, yeah, we know we got to do this, but we can still poke fun of it at the same time. I thought it, as a Deadpool movie, I thought it was perfect. It blew my expectations away, and I never give Better Than Sex to something that doesn't really make me cry or show me something I haven't seen before, but this is so on the cusp. It's a super high full price.
And I think anybody who goes to see this, unless you have an aversion to just a lot of violence and a lot of gore, it's just not. It's just not for you.
Or joy.
That's true. I was sitting next to my buddy's girlfriend, and you see something where a dude gets splattered.
Oh man!
Nothing, and she was just so like, oh
yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, but if your chick is cool, perfect Valentine's Day movie.
I didn't expect it to be that, man. Like this is, and that's something I like. And that was what almost made me give it a full price, because like this hit everything from being like a love story, an action movie, suspense. So like, what's gonna happen from here?
If your girlfriend tells you, let's go see Deadpool, marry that chick, man. If y'all go see Deadpool and y'all hold hands and go home and have the best fucking sex y'all ever had, that's your life mate, man, right there. I'm up there with these guys right here. I guess I haven't said it yet, but it's an extremely high full price for me. It's a game changer on so many ends right now. You know what's funny? Because everybody was talking about the Joker in Suicide Squad. They talking about how he's all choloed up and shit.
They you
me, yes. But the bar has been raised high. With Deadpool doing this rated R shit, if the Joker don't do a drive-by on somebody and kill a baby or something, it just ain't gonna happen.
They're all like, we're the baddest of the bad, and we're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we're PG-13.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shit, if we don't see a gang initiation with the Joker or some shit, it's...
The thing is, I don't even compare it. Like, when I say, saying one's going to be one more badass than the other, I think this might be the best superhero movie this year.
I know.
Because, like, that's the thing. Yeah, like, it's Captain America, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Suicide Squad, Batman versus Superman, and I feel like I'm leaving one out.
I forgot what the other one
Ninja
was.
Turtles. Those Ninja Turtles are hard, man.
They are comic book properties.
I heard they switched that to rated R, man. They coming hard. That's turtles with a hard R. Turtles.
Bye.